Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us here on AccuWeather Weekend. I'm Anna Azallion. Let's go ahead and start things off with a look at the forecast across the country. Now, we are seeing a system moving through northern Texas into parts of Oklahoma and Kansas. This is going to be the system we're watching for the next couple of days here, bringing a lot of rain. We're also seeing some rain and mountain snow over in the northwest. When we take a look at temperatures, this is where we're talking about some changes as we are in the first weekend of November. Take a look at New York here, 60 degrees. Just a couple days ago, we were seeing temperatures in the 70s, even pushing 80, so definitely expecting to probably see some more of that. This is all from a change in the pattern that we are seeing here, an influx of Gulf moisture moving north, not just Texas, that's going to be impacted here. Let's take a look at what things are looking like right now currently on radar, zooming in here. Definitely impacting portions of northern Texas, but continuing to move north, and this is only going to really expand over the next couple of days. We are looking at some heavy rainfall. That's why we were talking about that risk of some of that flash flooding that we're already starting to see there in Texas. For today, this area in yellow is where we are watching for hail, damaging wind gusts, and even isolated tornadoes. By tomorrow, we add in this small area of a moderate risk, one step up. Again, hail, isolated tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, all concerns here. And then we move to Monday. Well, a couple more kind of tidbits there about what they were just talking about. We have these warm waters that are just the perfect recipe for some kind of tropical development. And like he was saying, it's looking more and more likely that this could lift north and have some U.S. impacts. So let's take a look at exactly kind of where we're watching for these possible U.S. impacts, especially watching this area in orange. All right, let's talk about travel now. If anyone is heading out and about for the weekend, most of the country, green means you are good to go, but there are a couple areas where we're looking at some minor possible delays, especially in the northwest. This is where we have that storm bringing rain and mountain snow. So especially anyone that might be driving in some of these higher elevations, there could be some slick spots and some issues there. The other area of the country where we're seeing some of those minor delays possible to Texas and then continuing to move north, seeing several days of rain. And really, when all is said and done, this area in dark green here could see 8 to 12 inches of rain, and that's where we could see some flash flooding concerns, especially considering a lot of these areas are seeing drought conditions, which makes it harder for the ground to absorb that rain. Also looking at severe weather threats. For Sunday, there is a pocket with a moderate risk of severe weather. Tornadoes are not out of the question. Hail, damaging wind gusts, all on the table here, along with the flash flooding concerns. Now, taking a look at Monday, this is kind of the peak of the severe weather threat with this larger area that has that moderate risk. Again, severe thunderstorms with damaging wind gusts, hail, and even isolated tornadoes, all not out of the question, and something that you definitely want to stay weather aware throughout the next couple of days. Well, we are seeing the pattern shift in the southern central part of the U.S. This Gulf moisture moving northward, and this is leading to several days of not just rain, but storms as well. So take a look on future radar. We see this moving north into Oklahoma and Kansas by Sunday afternoon. It looks like things are diminishing a little bit in Texas, but that is not quite the case. We're going to see another line move in with all the reds and yellows. There's definitely some heavy rain associated with this system. And like I said, several days of rain with this. Here's a look at rain totals. We're looking at in some areas even 8 to 12 inches of rain when all is said and done. And while this is over several days, there is a flash flooding threat just because there's so much rain, and especially talking about the drought concerns in this area. When an area is in drought, sometimes it's harder for the ground to absorb the rain, and that can lead to some of the flash flooding. We're also looking at severe thunderstorm potential, looking at the chance of hail, damaging wind gusts, and isolated tornadoes. And especially when we look Sunday afternoon into the evening, we're looking at a moderate risk in this pocket here. So definitely something to keep an eye on. This is where flash flooding starts to come in a little bit more as well. Monday is the day that we are really watching, though, because there's a larger area with that orange moderate risk of this severe weather. Again, damaging wind gusts, hail, isolated tornadoes, all concerns along with that flash flooding threat. And this has some populated areas, including Oklahoma City up towards Kansas City. So definitely something we will be watching over the next couple of days. You can see temperatures are going to bounce around a little bit too, between the 60s and the 70s here for Lubbock, Texas.